with us Shri Amrender Sharan, who is working with NITTR Chandigarh in Department of Computer Science as Junior System Programmer, and he's a person who is involved into the IT backbone of the institute, and he has developed the Green IT initiatives also for the institute, and in the same way, he has also developed an application for NITTR Chandigarh Android-based app through which any teacher pan India, pan country can apply for our short-term courses. So, with his experiences, we thought he is the right person to interact with the audience on web-based teaching learning system. And as requested by one of the centers by Government Polytechnic Jalna, Maharashtra, we have requested him to explain, to elaborate upon certain tools that can be used for online submission of teamwork and lab assignments. And Amrender sir, I welcome you to
Sure,
this.
sir. Thank you, sir.
So, without taking any further time, I request you to be with the audience for the session. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So today we are going to discuss different available web-based teaching and learning tools, right? So there is a list of tools available. Some of them are very important and very easy to hand. So I'm going to demonstrate few tools in this session. So let's start with the first tool. So Creative. It is a web-based teaching learning tool. It is freely available, right? It allows teacher to create a room for a student and join and answer the questions, right? There are some pros and cons. The benefits of using Socrative is no setting up of pre-class rosters. That is, we do not need any setting before starting the class or before starting the quiz. Teacher or student paste is an option, right? That is, a teacher can also answer the questions and he can test whether it is working or not in teacher pace. In student pace, student will be given permission to answer the question, edit the answers, right? The disadvantage is student have to enter their name, right? And all student names needs a device that is they can use the internet over the device, right? So the device should be working. Device have the internet working on it. This is the official website of Socrative. So I'm going to demonstrate one by one. So this is the website of Socrative. We are going to use a free version of it. So we have given two options in their home page: student login and teacher login. So I'm logging with the teacher. So first, if you are a new user, you have to sign up, right? If you are a registered user, you can use your login ID and password. So I have to reset my password. I forgot my password. We have given to reset the password. So now we are ready to log in. So for first time you have to sign up on the Socrative website, and then you have to log in, right? So in their home page, you got an option to create a quiz, right? So using Socrative, we can create an online quiz. So to create a quiz, we have also an option to launch a quick questions, right? If you are teaching in your class and you want a quick question answers from the student, you can use this quick question section. In this, you can have multiple choice of question, true false type of question, and short answer types of question. Suppose you are teaching a lesson and you want to ask a quick sorry you want to ask a question and you need a quick answers from the student, you can use this section. In another case, you can create a quiz that a student can answer, and you can view their response through online. So I'm going to create a quiz. To create a quiz, you have to click on the quizzes tab, and then there is option will be given to add quiz. So I'm going to create a new quiz. Here you have to mention the quiz name. Now you have multiple answer options to create the questions. You can have multiple choice question, true false question, and short answer types question. So I'm going to take one example from each type. Suppose I have to create a multiple choice question. So here I have typed the question, and here I'm going to give the options. हम्म यहाँ से So I have mentioned the 4 options of the question, and I have to select the correct answer. So there is a option to select the correct answer. If you need to mention the explanation, you can also do that, right? So after creating the question, you can save the quiz. So one question has been created in this quiz, right? If you want to add some more question like true false question, so we can select the correct answer. If it is true, then we have to select true or false. Again, I clicked save. Then if we want to create a question for short type answering, then we can have then save. So 3 questions I have created. Then we have to click on enable sharing. By clicking on this, the student will be able to answer the quiz. I have saved the quiz and got exit. Then next step, we have to launch the quiz. So you have to go to the launch tab, click on the quiz, and then I have created test 1 quiz. I've selected a test 1 quiz and go to the next. Then it will ask to choose the delivery mode. Instant feedback means student will get immediate response whether their answer is correct or not. Open navigation means student will have an option to skip the question and to select the another question. Teacher based means teacher will be able to answer the questions only, right? And additional setting we need requires names, means whenever an student want to answer the question, he must have to provide their name. Instant feedback, then again there are multiple options. I have selected show question feedback. A student will get immediate response whether the answer he is given is right or wrong. I have started the activities. Now in this screen it will show the progress of quiz, how many students have answered till now. And so we can see here there is no response from any student, right? So if an student want to answer, he must require the classroom name, and the classroom name is Amrender NITTR. So he has to specify the classroom name, then only he will be able to answer the quiz. So if there are 100 students in the class, you can tell the student to start the quiz using this classroom name, that is Amrender NITTR. So I'm going to log in as a student. So now I'm going to log in as a student. So firstly I have to specify the classroom name. Then I will click on join. Then it is asking for the student name because I have selected the option to ask the student name. After entering the name, the student will get the questions. So it is asking the question. I'm going to answer. Suppose I answered a wrong answer, like Amritsar. Submit answer. It is giving immediate feedback. The question number 1 is wrong, right? So this will help us to test the student while running the class. Correct. It is also giving the correct answer. Correct answer is Chandigarh. Okay. Then in second question, it is asking Chandigarh is UT. We have to select true or false. So it is giving immediate feedback that your answer is right. Then we can submit a explanation, right? Okay. Now it is showing that you have completed this current activity, waiting for next activity. When teacher will start a new activity, student will automatically get the notification about the next activity. So in the teacher's phase, I will get a response that Rakesh have answered, and he have answered the 100%, answers the question, answers the quiz 100%. That is all, he has answered all the questions. First question was wrong, second was true, and second and third was an explanation that it is showing, right? We can also get the reports of these activities. So we can get the reports using a graph or chart. So it is giving a chart, right? It is not mentioning the name, right? So it is giving the percentage of accuracy, that is 50%. Question number 1 was 0%. Question number 2 was 100%. And question number 3 was of short answer type. So it is not giving the percentage of accuracy, right? We can also get report by email. We have to specify, or we can get in Excel format, right? So when it is asking how would you like to get your report, so we can give an option to email or download, right? So this is a one very good online teaching tools that a teacher can use for immediate questioning and answering, right? So you can also get the report of all earlier quizzes that you have conducted. So this is all about the Socrative. So I am logging out. So it is a very good tool you can use in your class. So before coming to the next tool, I'm going to explain you another technique. You can also say it is a tool which you can use while teaching in your class, and that tool can be used for online submission of assignment by student and their grading, and it is freely available to all the users. It is basically a services of Google. It is called Google Classroom, right? So you can use that Google Classroom. I got a request from a remote center that is they want a way to take the assignment online and to perform the grading. So this will help them in getting the assignment from the student and grading them, right? So we are going to use the Google Classroom and Google Docs services, right? So firstly, I'm going to explain Google Docs services. Then I will come back to Google Classroom. So on Google page, you can have an option for Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Google Docs, Sheets, Slides. There is one option, Google Forms. So we are going to use Google Forms. It is very useful. Some of you might have been used this. So we can use Google Forms to create an online multiple choice assignment. So I'm going to create So you might have been given already available templates, that is assessment, blank quiz, worksheet, or you can create your own blank Google form, right? So we can use the blank form. I'm going to create a online test, right? I've assigned a name to general test, right? Or I given it to test one, right? So now it is asking for first question. So again, I'm going to add some questions. We can have options for creating the questions, type of question, that is, it is multiple choice or paragraph or short answer. So I'm going to select multiple choice, right? So I have given option 1. So I've given 4 options. So first question is created. I've created a copy of it. Just I'm creating a random question. Our purpose is basically to make you understand how to use the Google Forms. So I created 2 questions. So if you want to add different type of question, like if you want to add some short type of question, short answer type question, so I've created this test. Now I have to share this Google form or this test to the student. To sharing this test to the student, we have to use send button. You have to use send button. When I will click on send button, it will ask us to send via email. So I have selected email. So I'm going to specify emails of some students. So I have shared this Google form with one of student. We can have multiple students, so we can type their email ID by comma separated. So I am checking this checkbox, include form in this email. So it is mandatory to select this option, because after selecting this checkbox only the student will get the Google form. So I've shared with 2 students. I'm going to add one more. So I've shared this Google form to 4 of my student. Now the student will answer this Google form. So I'm going to log in as a student. So in my email, the student, when a student will log in his email ID, he will get the test 1 quiz. It is containing 4 questions, sorry, 3 questions. So he can answer the quiz in the Gmail only, or he has option to fill out in Google Forms. So the Google form is opened here. So he may answer the questions. So one of the student have answered the quiz. So immediately the teacher will get the response, right? He got one response. It is showing one response has been received from one of the student, right? So I'm going to submit another response. So student number 3 I also got this Google form. Suppose it is selecting wrong answer. So he have also answered. So student 2 is also going to answer this question. So 3 response has been received. Now suppose you are a teacher and you want, so you can also get the response here. You can see it is showing the accuracy percentage using graph. So it is giving the results in the form of charts. But this there is another tools which I'm going to explain, that is Flubru. So this is a very useful tool. It is a script that runs on Google Forms, which grade the student responses using a teacher's key. Result can be emailed to the students, right? So basically, this is a add-on plugin of Google Forms. It has also some pros and cons. It can be taken anywhere, anytime, in asynchronous mode. Asynchronous means student can answer anytime, right? It is not required the live questioning and answering, right? Result can be emailed, and student need the internet connection. Might have be disadvantage, right? Because to run a Google form, you must need the internet connectivity. So I'm going to explain how to use the Google Flubru for grading the test. Suppose you have created a test like I have done. So suppose you have created a test of 25 or 30 questions, and there are 200 students who participated in the quiz, and now you need to grade the students, right? So once you got the response from all the students, you have to go to the Google form that which you have created. There will be a plus sign on the Google Forms, and it is giving the create spreadsheet. So you have to click on the create spreadsheet. It is asking create a new spreadsheet, right? So I'm going to create it, test 1. So it is redirecting us to docs.google.com, Google Docs website. So it is giving all the questions. Now we have to suppose 200 students have answered the quiz. Now we have to grade them, right? So we can use the Flubru. To use the Flubru, we have to add on the Flubru plugins to our Google Docs account, right? So on add-ons tab, you will see the options to get add-ons, right? So I have already included the Flubru in my Google Docs account. If it is not showing in your account, you can click on get add-ons, right? So when you will click on get add-ons, Flubru will be showing on the home page you can select it and install it, right? After installing it, you will get an option to enable the Flubrew in your spreadsheet, right? So here it is giving the option to enable the Flubrew in the sheet. So now I have enabled the Flubrew in our sheet. Then it is telling us for instruction on how to start grading, click here. So it will provide a video in which you can learn how to use the Flubrew, right? So after enabling the Flubrew, we will get an option to grade the assignment. So you can see here, we are getting an option to grade the assignment. So now we got all the questions, right? And we have to assign the points for each question. How much points teacher want to assign a question, it can be updated here. Suppose I want to assign what is the capital of Punjab. I want to assign 2 points for this question. I've selected 2 points. For second question, I've also selected 2 points. For third question, I want to assign 1 point. For fourth question, because it is short answer type, I'm going to skip this question for grading. So we can have an option to skip the grading. So I've selected the skip the grading option here. So it is asking choose a question which will identify the student before counting. So I have selected one of the question to identify the student, right? For that, we can use their email ID also, right? So while creating the Google Forms and while sharing this to the student, we can use the collect username option, right? So if we have selected the collect username, we can get their email ID also. So I'm going to do it once again. Suppose I've created this Google form and I want to share it with the student. So I have selected the option collect username, right? So I can discard the earlier spreadsheet. So I shared again. So you must remember it to include their username, to correct their username option while sharing the Google Forms. Now we can see here it is asking for email ID. So I have mentioned my email ID as a student. So I'm submitting the response once again. I have given 4 of responses. Now I'm going to grade the assignment. So I'm deleting the earlier entries because I have not asked their email ID in earlier responses. So now we have 4 response. I'm going to grade this using Flubrew again. I have already explained how to add the Flubrew. You have to get the Flubrew before grading this assignment. You have to go to the get add-ons, search for the add-ons, and you have to install the Flubrew as a add-ons. After enabling the Flubrew, you will be given an option to grade the assignment. So now it is going to grade. So this email address field we are going to use to identify the student, and we are going to perform normal grading with the other questions. So I assign 2 points for first question, 2 points for second, and 2 points for third question. For fourth question, I am going to skip the grading and then continue. So before grading the assignment, you must keep in mind that you have to give a response which can be used as a correct answer key. So before grading the students' responses, teacher had to perform one correct response, right? So we will take that response as a reference for correct answer key, right? So it is also asking that please select which submission should be used as a answer key. So in our case, I have given correct answers in using a first email ID, that is asharan@nitacsg.ac.in. So I'm going to use this email ID as a reference for correct answer key. Then continue. So it is automatically grading the assignment. Once the grading will complete, this message will be flashed. Now we can see here the summary of grading has been done. Points available were 6. The average points scored by the students are 4. Counted submission, that is 3, because one submission was performed by the teacher only. Number of low scoring question, it is 0, because in none of the question we got the 0% answers, correct answers, right? Now it is also showing the submission time, their email address, total points the student scored. So student 1 has scored total points 4, student 3 has scored total points 6. So it is very useful tool. It is also giving the percentage of accuracy of each student. 66%, 33% for third student, 100% for second student. How many times a student has submitted? So teacher can give the option to resubmit the assignment, right? So we have given only one time submission, and here it is giving the parameters for all the questions. And for fourth question, we have used non grading, right? So it is giving the percentage of accuracy in each the question. So we can have multiple types of report here. So in first question we got 66.67 percentage accuracy, right? So this is a very useful tool. This is all about the flu brew. So this is a very useful tool a teacher can use, right? So this is basically this is basically used for quiz type of questions, like you are giving multiple choice question or short answer questions. Now we are going to learn how to take the assignment, right? How we can give assignment to the student, and student can submit their assignment, right? So for that we will use the Google Classroom. Now we are going to see how to use the Google Classroom, right?
For let's say we have 100 students.
Mm-hmm.
100 students we are grading this kind of question,
Mm-hmm.
multiple choice question. So we need to have a database for that 100 students, right? Then email IDs, and then we'll be sending.
Definitely.
Is there any kind of centralized system, like where something like we can link up to our department site, and where that can be directly accessed or something like that, where we don't have to maintain the database of the students?
या डेफिनेटली जब आप गूगल फॉर्म आपने बनाया, राइट, जब आपने शेयर किया, तो गूगल फॉर्म का लिंक आप अपने डिपार्टमेंटल पेज पे डिस्प्ले कर दीजिए, ठीक है ना? तो आप स्टूडेंट जब भी जाएगा वहां पे क्लिक करेगा तो उसको गूगल फॉर्म मिल जाएगा वहां पे, और वहां पे हमने एक ऑप्शन दे ही रखा है पहले से, एंटर योर ईमेल आईडी, बिना उसके तो वो सबमिट नहीं कर पाएगा। तो डेफिनेटली हर स्टूडेंट को अपना ईमेल आईडी वहां पे लिख के सबमिट करना होगा। So before going to the next tool, I'm going to explain how to use the Google Classroom. So Google has launched this Google Classroom just a few months before, right? So we have to open the classroom.google.com, right? After login with your email ID and password, you will be here. Now, firstly, we have to create the class, right? Suppose we are teacher, and so we have to create a class. So it is showing that no class here. So we can go to the option plus, and we will be provided an option to create the class. So I'm going to create a class. Suppose I'm creating the class short-term courses. Course. We can assign section, subject. So I have created a class here.
So I think Google Classroom is getting some error, because till date Google have not released the stable version of Google Classroom, because it has been launched just few months before, and they are still working on it. So I'm going to use some archived classes, right? So might be this problem will be resolved in few hours. They will working on it, right? I think, right? So I'm going to use the already existing class. So once we create Google class here, we will, yes. Once we will create a Google Classroom here, we will get the details of that classroom in our home page, right? So when we click on the classroom, we will given multiple options. You can use the background image. You can select the theme here or upload photo here. You can select the theme from the already available themes from the in the Google Gallery, or you can upload your own images, right? Suppose you are going to create a classroom for geography, right? So you can use a photo of geographical nature, right? So I have created a classroom here, short-term course, day 3, and I'm going to assign us. I'm going to give an assignment to our student, right? Now I want to create some assignment. Suppose I want to create assignment. So there will be a plus sign below the page. In plus sign, we will get options to create questions or create assignment, right? Create announcement. Suppose I want to create an assignment. So I will click on create assignment. It will ask for title, right? So I'm giving assignment 1. Instructions, it is optional. We can assign a due date. So I have given the due date is 20th, right? We can give a time. So before this time and this date, student have to submit their assignment, right? If teacher want to give a already existing format to the student, that which student have to use for answering their questions, he can attach their
already existing template, right? So suppose I'm creating a template here. I'm just creating a random template student can use to answer their question, right? I'm going to save it. So while assigning, while giving assignment to the student, we can upload our format. We have to click on attachment, then upload, then select file from computer. So I created a format for assignment 1 and upload. So we have to give the students permission to edit this file or make, or suppose we have to give each a copy to each student, we can click on make a copy to each student, or student can edit the same file, right? Because this file will be saved on Google Drive, right? So after creating the assignment, I've submitted assigned. So assignment has been given. Now we have to allocate this assignment to the students, right? It is just we have created the assignment. Now we are going to assign it to different students, right? So there is an option to invite the student. We can invite our students in our already existing on in our context, right? Or better option is we can make a group of students. Suppose I am taking the computer science student, we can make a group, right? Group of student, and we can use the their group IDs, right? Or we can use the individual students. Another option is there is a class code for each class teacher have created. This is the class code. The highlighted code is the class code. You have to just tell your student to use this class code to get this assignment. When you student will log in to their account, they have to use this class code, right? So using invite student, I can select all the student existing in my contact, right? I've selected one of my student, right, and invited it. It has been already added, so it is showing the person is already member of the classroom. Or if you want to add a student, you can also type his email ID and invite him, right? Better, it is always recommendable to make a group, right? You can make a Google group of students. In this case, each student must need their email ID on Google, right? So you can make a Google group and you can invite the complete group to take this assignment, right? So once the student has been invited, you have to click the student name, right? You have to check all the options, right? You have to check all the all the students to share this assignment to the students, right? Here is an option: student can only comment on this assignment, only teacher can post or comment, right? So I have selected the option student can post and comment, right? So now this assignment has been available to all the students which are invited in this classroom, right? So as soon as we invite a student, he will get a copy of this assignment in their Gmail inbox, right? So I have just invited this student, so this student will get an invitation for this classroom. Here we can see that the student we have invited, he have got the assignment one in this their email inbox, right? So if the student want to attempt this assignment, he will just click on open. Now student will get the assignment. Now he suppose he want to answer this question, this assignment, so he can download this template, right? You can download it. He can answer it. So with each copy of student, the assignment will be named by his student. It will be his username will be suffixed with the assignment name automatically. Now suppose you student want to answer it, so he can add the add his comment. He has to add the file from his computer, upload. So student have uploaded the assignment. You have to discard the earlier one. Now he has to click on turn in. So it is giving the message, one attachment will be submitted for assignment 1. Student will have submitted. After submitting the assignment, he will click on post. Now it is giving message done. Now just we are coming back to this teacher account. So in teacher account, teacher will immediately see that one student have done this assignment, right? Because he has invited only one student, so it is saying 1 done and 0 not done. If teacher have invited 20 student and 1 is answered, so it will show 1 done and 19 not done. So now teacher can see and give the feedback, right? So teacher can view the answers from here, and it can give the grading. So suppose I'm grading 90 out of 100. So the marks has been updated for this student. Now I'm clicking on return. The teacher is now returning the grading to the student. So I've clicked on the return button. So in student account, immediately a student will get the marks here, 90 out of 100, right? And comment from the teacher, well done, right? So when teacher is returning the assignment, he may ask the student to resubmit the assignment. So student will have an option to resubmit the assignment, right? So this is how the Google Classroom works. So you may have an option to create an assignment, create questions. In question, again, we can have the question type and the due date, right? Teacher can submit the question also, right? So it's all about the Google Classroom. There are many more features. You have to just go through it, and you have to do your R&D, because there are multiple options in Google Classroom, right? I've just demonstrated one of it. Now we are switching to the next tool, which is Plickers, right? Plickers is also a tool for online teaching and learning, right? It is short form of paper clickers, right? It is now been used in some advanced country like UK and US. It is not launched in India yet, right? A system that allow data collection from the student without each having a technology device. So the major benefit of clickers is student do not need any device, right? But it needs many prerequisites, right? So we are going to see the pro and cons. Only teacher need a device, right? Teacher need a mobile phone. Basically, it is not a advanced device. Teacher have to use their mobile phones, and in their mobile phone they must have the Flickr app, right? What student need? Student will need a printed paper, right? On which they will be given a drawing, or you can say image, and they have to show the image to answer their question, right? It also need a setup of classroom before going ahead, right? This is how Plickr will work. Each student will need a printout of Plickr's image, right? This is the Plickr image, right? There is 4 edges of this Plickr image. On each edge an option will be given, like this is the left edge will be given option A, option B, option C. If suppose a student want to give his answer for option B, he has to put option B on the vertical side, right? So if he want to give option A as a correct answer, he have to rotate this and put A on the vertical side, right? Teacher will scan the image of each the student. Basically, it the as soon as teacher will install the mobile phone, sorry, the Flickr app in its mobile phone, it will be able to scan the image and to evaluate the answer, right? So I'm going to show you a video on YouTube how to use the Flickrs.
Flickrs is a fun and new formative assessment tool that you can use with your class. What really sold me on this website is that you only are required to have one device in the class in order for this to work. So as long as the teacher has an iPhone, an iPad, or an Android device, you can do this with your students, and it's so easy and quick to set up. It's a lot like what you've used clickers for in the past, except for rather than devices, your students are going to have these barcodes that you print out for them. Now, after each class, they can throw them away and you can reprint them each time, or you can print them on something a little bit sturdier like cardstock, so that way they will last. Whichever way is best for you. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to want to do is go to plickers.com and create a free account. Once you're logged in, you're going to see some links up here at the top. The library link is where you're going to go to enter your questions. You have the choice to do multiple choice or true false. You can mark what the correct answer is over there to the right, but you're not required to specify a correct answer. So if you're wanting to just do an opinion survey in your class or with your student organization, then you would leave the correct answers blank. Once you've created your questions, they're all down here at the bottom. You'll see this little calendar icon, and that's to where you can add it to your plan. Now, a plan is just a class. This is really beneficial for those teachers who teach multiple contents, and that way you're not going to have to scroll through all the questions within all of your content areas. When you're doing this in the class, as long as you've added it to a plan and you have fourth period pulled up on your device, you can look at only the questions that are associated with that fourth period content. You'll also be able to see over here to the right which class you've given that assessment data to show that it's got data recorded for it. You also have your reports link up at the top, and this is where you can come back afterwards and look at the data. But it's also going to give you the data in real time on your device while you're scanning the student's barcode. Your classes link is where you're going to set up your classes. You'll just click here to add a new class and fill in the information. Once you have your classes set up, you'll open it up to add your students' names. Now you'll notice over here to the right, you have all of these different available cards. You have an option to use up to 64 barcodes per class. Now I know probably nobody has 63. Probably nobody has 63 students in their class, but this makes it really handy for those teachers who are wanting to use it with their student organizations as well. So you'll just type in the students' names. It will automatically assign the card number for them, or you can click the card and assign it yourself, whichever way you want to do. And then your last link is Live View. And this is going to be the view that you can project to your class over the projector if you so choose. It's going to give the students the questions and the answers. And then you have some options over here to the right. You can either have it choose to show the answers, or it'll just do a check mark for when people respond. Or you can also have it do the graph, and you can do show correct as well. It's not going to show me the correct because in this particular question, I set it up as just being a survey option and not having a right or wrong answer. So now that I've shown you the website, let's switch over and I will show you what it looks like from your device. So now to show you the device side of things so you can see it in action. The first thing that you want to do before you use this with students is, of course, create your classes. But you need to go and print their cards. And you can do this before you create questions, after, it doesn't matter. The barcodes on the cards are never going to change. So once you click on your cards link, you're going to have some different options. You get to choose between standard and expanded. And the only difference between that is the number of cards. Your standard is 40, your expanded is 32. And when you click on them, I'll show you what it pulls up. It's going to print out 2 cards per sheet. Now on these cards, you're going to see it has the number right here. That's the number that you've assigned to the students. And then all around the edges here, you have your A, B, C, and D. And that's where your students are going to rotate the barcode depending on how they want to answer. So once you have your cards and they're printed out, and you're ready to give this assessment to your students, over here on the right, it's going to show you what my device looks like. And over on the left, this is the website, which is live view. This page is what you would be projecting to your students so that they could see the questions and the answer choices. So my Plickers app on my device is over here. It's the blue one that has the white papers. And when I open it up, it's going to show all of my classes here. I'm going to open up first period. So first period is going to show all the questions in the library. Right now, if you look up at the top, I have it selected as all. Or I can click on history to look at any questions that I had done in the past. Or I can look at planned, and these are going to be just the questions that I have assigned to my first period plan. So when I'm ready to give my first question to the students, I'm going to go through here and choose. I'm going to choose the last one. And you're going to watch the website changes automatically. I didn't have to do anything on it. So I'm going to ask the students this question and what they think the answer is. And I, on my device down here, this little camera button, I'm going to press that camera button and it's going to pull up my camera. So I've got some cards here that are printed out. Okay. We'll turn them around a couple different ways and do 3 so y'all can kind of see what it does. I guess you kind of have to be far back from it, which is not going to be a problem because your students are going to have it. Okay, and when I'm done, I'll notice right here, if you'll see on my device, nobody answered it correctly. It's also going to shade the students up there at the top. If you have more, you can just scroll through this little list and it's going to show you all the students in your class. You're going to click on OK. It's going to show you on your device what the answers were. Over here on the left, it only shows the check marks unless I want it to show the class the answers. And then in that case, it's going to do it there. You can also do it as a graph as well. So now I'm going to show you one more. I'm going to, on my device, go back to first period. I'm going to find another question. You'll see that my live view over there to the left changes automatically. So I'm going to click my camera button to start to scan. And I'm not touching anything on my device at all. So if you have the whole class holding these up, you can just kind of walk around the room like this and start to scan, and it's going to pick them all up. Then I'm going to click on OK. Shows me my answers there as well. And then I can go back. So there's Plickers on your device. I think it's a really awesome tool to use with your students, especially for formative assessment. I will say it is better for formative assessments because if you do want to take a grade for it, it is harder to come back here to reports and find your question and open it up and log how many students got it right and how many students got it wrong. So in that case, it is really good for just those moments when you kind of want to get the temperature of the room, see if students have gotten a concept or if they don't have a concept, and that way you can determine if you want to move on in your lesson or if you realize that you need to go back and repeat something that maybe somebody missed. So a very awesome tool. It's called Plickers. You only need one device to use it.
So this is how the Plickers work. You have to have your Plickr accounts. Then you have to assign unique numbers to all the students. Then you have to get the Plickers card printed, and you have to distribute the students, right? And in your Plickers app, you will have an option to create the quiz, right? You can have your reports and of their assessment, right? So this is one of the online teaching learning tool. And the next tool is basically it is a website, instagot.com. You can search for content, because whenever we need to search anything, we have to go to the Google, and we have to identify the appropriate answers. So it will help, the Instagram will help to find the appropriate answer and definitions of many things in the online teaching. It is basically help the teachers, right? So suppose I want to search atomic number. So it is searching. It is basically content searching tool, right? So it is very good site. So we can have definitions of many things: atom, chemistry, nucleus, neutron, right? Suppose I want to learn about atom, it will automatically link us to many the definitions. Here we can have the definitions. Atomic number are unique to the element, right? So it will linking to the relevant parameters of any content, right, which we are searching. So teacher can use this site to demonstrate the student, right? It is basically used for content searching. Then next we will have a Google World Wonder. I think you must have seen this. It will basically help the student for geographic knowledge. So Google World Wonder, it will display the unique things in our world, right? So if you want to get the knowledge about world's wonder things, you can use this Google World Wonders, right? So there are different sections in Google World Wonders. It is collection of world wonders, right? So you can use it for your knowledge purpose. I've just included it as a resource, online resource while learning, right? So it's all about our session, right?